So fair warning, probably going to be kind of a ranting video, I guess, kind of like I do. But I've been on the hunt for the most aggressive grinding wheel that I can find, and the one that is overall the cheapest to use. Um, I'm really kind of a cheap ass, but in a different way than most people are, in the sense that it seems like most people nowadays just want to buy the cheapest Chinese garbage that they can, and if it breaks on them the third time that they use it, they don't care. They go out and they buy another one. Um, you know, I would rather buy a good quality product that's going to last me a very long time, and even if it is a more expensive initial purchase price, because it lasts for a long time, it ends up being a lot cheaper. Um, you know, I kind of wish that we could go back to the days of, you know, that old 1955 Lincoln welder that I have. Um, one of these days I'll have to actually like lift it up and put it next to my Trailblazer. It is fucking tiny compared to my Trailblazer, and it is I think a little over 100 pounds heavier. Like the body of the generator head is no shit 3/4 rolled steel. Um, and you know, even if something like that is expensive to buy because it lasts, you know, because it lasts a long time, it ends up being really cheap. Um, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my Trailblazer, and you know, other modern technology. Well, case in point, other modern technology, but you know, I definitely have a soft spot for the older stuff too. But anyways, this video is about grinding wheels. Um, you know, I've spent quite a long time trying many different brands of grinding wheels. These here, so far, are the my favorite that I've found, and what I, like I said, was looking for is something that is cheap to use, maybe not cheap to buy, but cheap to use, as far as bang for your buck, and is very aggressive. Unlike most people, I actually don't mind grinding at all. In fact, I kind of like it. Um, you know, talk to most people out there and they'll tell you that their least favorite thing on the planet is running a grinder. I think it's kind of peaceful. You know, you kind of let your mind wander off to wherever the hell you feel like and just get shit done. But I want something that'll work fast, so I don't, you know, spend all day there and waste my time or my customer's time or whatever. And I feel like probably most other people out there, you know, started off going to Harbor Freight and getting Harbor Freight grinding wheels, and they're cheap to buy. There's no doubt about that. I think, you know, you buy a 10 pack of wheels or something like that for the 4.5 inch, you get them for like $1 a piece or something, and they are total shit. They, you know, wear down way too super fast, and just really aren't worth a damn, and they don't actually remove all that much material. And some other wheels that I found, you know, will cut pretty aggressively, but at the expense of wear life. You know, they sacrifice wear life for having an aggressive cut, and so yeah, you might, you know, there are wheels out there that are probably pretty close to the cubitrons as far as how aggressive they are, but they last like, you know, 10% the time or something like that. So I got a couple different wheels here. I'll move the camera here in a bit, but you can see here I got a piece of I don't know, probably half or so inch plate with some UTP 711B hard facing rod put on there. And yes, I know it looks like I don't know what I'm doing, because, you know, I kind of don't. It's been years since I've used this rod, and it took me a little while to kind of figure out what was going on. But that's not the point. The point is to grind the weld off and see how it does. And I used hard facing rod For those who are not familiar with that, hard facing as a general rule is a surface coating that you put on a material that will have a longer wear life than the base material itself. Of course, everything is trade-offs and pros and cons to everything. While this stuff is really super hard, it's also really super brittle, and it is not structural whatsoever. It's not something that you want to actually glue shit together with. There's 1,000 different types of hard facing out there for all sorts of different things, whether it be, you know, a loader bucket digging into a pile of gravel, or a rock crusher, or this or that or the other. So if and you're so inclined, feel free to look that up and see precisely what this one here is used for. So I got a couple different oh, I almost forgot. So yeah, so like I was saying, you know, I do want a good product. I do want something that's aggressive, but I am also cheap. And so, you know, like this wheel right here, I bought from my local welding supply for 25 bucks, which is outrageously expensive compared to some of the other wheels that you can get out there. But honestly, even at that price, I think these are worth it. If you know, get some of these and compare them to how long like a Harbor Freight 9-inch wheel would last, this still ends up being cheaper. And I have 9-inch wheels kind of as a side effect of the fact that I am cheap. And so here's a 4.5-inch wheel that started out as a 5-inch, right? Yeah, started out as a 5-inch, but it's down to a 4.5 right now. And so when you double the size of a circle, you quadruple the surface area, or thereabouts. And so you can see that you have, you know, so much more material on the grinding wheel, you know, like you might think, you know, okay, you know, 9 to 4.5, it's twice as much or 3 times as much, but no, actually it's quite a bit more. And so just that in itself, even if you know, stick with the same brand grinding wheel or this or that or whatever, if you double the size in this case here, or even just go up in size at all, like, you know, a 7-inch wheel or something like that, you still have a pretty, it's an exponential increase in the amount of material per the wheel size, I guess is the best way to put that. And a handy thing is, if you are trying to, say, make something flat, you know, make the surface flat that you're working on, it is much easier to do with a big grinding wheel than it is a small grinding wheel. And hopefully that's kind of self-explanatory. You know, you can imagine, even if you have this at a pretty shallow angle, it'd be pretty easy to like dig a trench in something, where you have this, and, you know, just based on the fact that it's a larger wheel will help you with that, you know, or if it's a cut-off wheel and you're trying to make a straight cut or whatever the case is. Yeah, so paid 25 bucks for that one there, and it's still cheaper at that point. But if you go looking around on eBay, Amazon, fuck your local pawn shop, I don't know, and try and find expired wheels, that's where I've had the best luck getting the best prices. So I bought a whole shitload of these 3M high performance wheels for $2.50 a piece for 9-inch wheels. Like this individual wheel right here, I paid $2.50 for. And those 3M high performance are really, really good. These are just a little bit better. I bought a bunch of the Cubitron 1/8-inch wheels for $6 a piece. And just recently I bought some of the 6-inch grinding wheels And I got those for $3.50 a piece. Now, typically, the way I've been finding them, you have to buy them, you know, 10 at a time, 20 at a time, or whatever. And so, like I say, for most people, that'd probably shy some people away because, you know, a lot of people look at cheap purchase cost, you know, where I got these for $3.50 a piece, but I had to buy 20 of them. You're spending $70 on wheels, but it'll last you forever. But you can see right here, it just relatively recently expired, and it's fucking brand new in the packaging. If somebody knows why in the fuck it is that they put an expiration date on grinding wheels, please let me know, because I honestly don't see, you know, what the concern would be with old grinding wheels. I mean, okay, if they're 100 years old and they're falling apart or something like that, then, you know, okay, fine. You know, if the adhesive compound is starting to come apart or whatever. But, I mean, they come in a cardboard box. If the box was to get wet, you would be able to tell, like, as soon as cardboard gets wet, it just kind of, like, turns to mush, and it never goes back. So yeah, if you know why that is, please let me know. And like, so Weiler, however the fuck you're supposed to pronounce this, really kick-ass company for wire wheels. They are by far the best wire wheels that I have ever seen. Well, that I've ever used anyways. And their wire wheels are made in America, which is great. I love it, because, you know, nowadays it's getting harder and harder to find shit made in the U.S. You know, like Milwaukee, for example, was obviously called that because they were from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And 40, 50 years ago, they made some really kick-ass, you know, like real legitimate industrial tools. Nowadays, it's really just a name, and unfortunately it works that just having the name, you know, people will buy something just based on brand recognition. But anyways, I got these wheels here for I think like $7 a piece or something like that, and you can see they got some surface rust on them, and I bought them like this, and you know, they were listed as a new old stock. But again, I don't understand, like, is this some OSHA thing or whatever? Like, I just, this one's lost on me. I've used a lot of these expired grinding wheels, and I've used a lot of these wire wheels, with, you know, surface rust and shit on them, but you can see it's otherwise brand new. And I've never once had an issue with any of these. And, yeah, if you know something about it, let me know. But I think it's rather interesting that if you look at, you know, say like Weiler's wire wheels, they're made in America. There's a bunch of other companies of grinding wheels and that kind of stuff that are made in the U.S. These were, you know, of course, can't read it anymore. Well, no, there you go. These were Flexovit 5-inch wheels, and hopefully you can read on the bottom there. They're made in America, but they're just not very aggressive and not, you know, what I was hoping for. What I find interesting is that if you look at these 3M wheels, they're made in Austria. You look at Weiler's grinding wheels, and this one anyways is made in Slovenia, or however the shit you're supposed to pronounce that. And same with their grinding wheels. Yeah, same thing, made in Slovenia. And I like the Weiler and the 3Ms are the, you know, kind of my favorites that I found so far. And it, you know, I'm curious as to why they're made overseas, where a lot of the other products from those companies are American made. Is it literally a fact of, like, here in the U.S. that we can't use the good materials that they use in these, and that's why they have to go overseas? Like, I don't know. I mean, because, like I said, this fucking thing is $25. You know, you would think for $25 a pop you could make grinding wheel in the US, but maybe there's more to the story that I'm not getting. I guess, you know, based on the reception, I suppose, that this video gets, and let me know if you'd like me to do it, that I will kind of get more official with the test here and, you know, get brand new wheels that are all the same size or something like that. Right now I just kind of got a hodgepodge of shit going on and just figured that I'd throw something together here real quick. Or if you want, I guess, you know, tell Project Farm, this YouTube channel called Project Farm, tell him about these wheels. He did a whole series of videos about flap disc and cutoff wheels and grinding wheels recently. But it seemed like he had brands that were like consumer brands, if you will. You know, something you'd find at Home Depot or Best Buy, or fuck Best Buy, what the hell, Lowe's, that kind of stuff, where the wheels that I have found to work the best are the more industrial company wheels. But yeah, I guess, you know, put a bug in his ear and tell him to try out the Cubitron wheels, and let me know if you want me to gather up some wheels, like I said, that are all the same size and brand new and what have you, and we can try and be a little more precise about it. But for now, get this sort of set up here and we'll throw some sparks and see what happens. Hopefully you can get a feel over the video for how well these Cubitron wheels work, but we'll see. So start out with a high performance wheel. And apparently have tightened my vise up a little bit. So that was the high performance there. Switch over to the 9-inch Cubitron. Hopefully I'm doing this justice, I don't know. Now we got a Cubitron 1/8-inch wheel. And so these are designed to grind on the edge, but also to grind on the face here. And they're really great for, like, you know, if you have to back gouge something or what have you. And then 6-inch Cubitron, 1/4-inch grinding. And I guess I'll do a little on just a regular steel. but really not putting much pressure, like down force on the wheel. Even though you can hear the grinder working, it's just simply that, you know, it bites so hard. And so I got a Weiler 1/8 inch and then a Cubitron 1/8 inch that are both used, and roughly about the same size. So, you know, the angular velocity will be the same, or ish anyways. I gotta admit, I love the shit out of Weiler's wire wheels, but I was honestly really disappointed with their grinding wheels. The color on the bottom half here indicates like the model of the grinding wheel. So, excuse me. You can see this one here, Tiger Pipeliner, and then you can see that that used to say Tiger Ceramic. The pink or whatever shit that color is here is their color for their most aggressive grinding wheel. Keep that in mind. And then I actually don't know what the yellow is here, but I think this is the only color that you can get the 1/8 inch wheel in. But so start out with the Cubitron, the roughly 7-inch Cubitron 1/8 inch. Hopefully no surprise there. It did just like the 9-inch, just it's a little bit smaller. And I'm trying to put the same amount of force on it as much as possible. And like that one there, you could hear the grinder bogging. And that, you know, I'm trying to keep the same pressure. The grinder is bogging, but it's just simply because the wheel bites so hard. So, Weiler Pipeliner 1/8 inch yellow wheel. Now, granted, it's close, but hopefully it comes across on video that it's just, you know, just not quite what the Cubitron is. And obviously this is a very subjective test, you know, and I could obviously be pushing harder on one than the other and not knowing it or whatever. But like I said, let me know. Let me know if you want me to get more serious with this, or if you don't care and I'm the only guy on the planet that cares about this kind of thing. But if you do care about it, let Project Farm know. Let him know that you want to see these more industrial company wheels. So this is the Tiger Ceramic, the pink wheel. Started out as a 7-inch, run down to about a 5-inch now. I have noticed while I've been using this one here, that and again, hopefully it comes across on video. This is one of the closer wheels that I found to the Cubitrons, but it lasts for fucking ever. It is unbelievable how long these things last. But it's not my cup of tea because it's just not aggressive enough for what I want. And so 6-inch, 1/4-inch Cubitron run down to about 5-inch. And then 5-inch, 1/4-inch Flexovit, right? Yeah, Flexovit, made in USA, mind. I do really like that. I wish that everything here was made in the US, and I wish everything, you know, that you could find at the store and everything was made in the US. If I had it my way, we'd go back to, you know, manufacturing shit like we used to, and being the world's factory. You know, hell, one of the contributing factors to the reason that we won World War II was the U.S. industrial capabilities. Now, something like that happens, we're fucked. But, anyways, back on topic. 5-inch, 1/4-inch Flexovit run down to approximately 4.5-inch. And then last and probably least is a no-name eBay 5-inch, 1/4-inch rock run down to approximately 4.5. Like I said, I went through a lot of different brands, good and bad, big name, no name, all that kind of stuff. It's actually been a while since I run one of these here, if I remember right. They actually do okay, but they wear down really fast. And then just for shits and giggles, how about the 9-inch cubitron again, just because I feel like it. Okay, so you can see on the table here that there's like actually a lot of that is actually the grinding wheels themselves. And now I'm breathing all that shit in. A lot of that's actually the wheels themselves, because hopefully it comes across on video how hard that hard facing is, and it's pretty brutal on the wheels. Obviously, like I said, I'm well aware that this is a very subjective thing. I'm not, comparing apples to apples here, because like in the example of this one here, it's I forget what type this is called, with the nut on it, versus that one that's just a regular type 27 that doesn't have the nut on it. But like I said, let me know if you're interested in this and would like to see a more fair and apples to apples comparison. Just figured I'd throw this together right quick with what I had on hand. And if you do care and you want to see somebody who does a really, really good job of this stuff, as far as comparisons anyways, I mean, the dude goes full nerdgasm on it. It's actually really, really, really fun to watch. Tell Project Farm that he should try out these wheels here.